Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
This is awesome! This is awesome! Hello and welcome to Cheap Shot Entertainment. I am your host Luke and you are the Cheap Shot Nation, and it's time for another classic pay-per-view review. As we're going through the year 2020, it's been 20 years since possibly one of the best years of the modern era, the year 2000. Royal Rumble 2000 was fantastic. WrestleMania 2000 was really good as well. What about the pay-per-view in between? Well, let me tell you, I'd completely forgotten how bad this pay-per-view was, apart from the last two matches, and that's saying a lot. But No Way Out 2000 was on February 27th, released 20 years today on February 27th, 2000, from Hartford, Connecticut, in the Hartford Civic Center. And we get to see the crowning of a double champion here in the first match, because Kurt Angle, that is, comes out, cuts a promo on Connecticut and says he will never leave Connecticut high and dry like their former sports team. Intercontinental Championship is on the line, not the European Championship, which Kurt Angle currently holds. Kurt Angle versus Chris Jericho, and he is with China. He is the undisputed Intercontinental Champion now. Having had the feud with China, he is now teaming with China, and they've got a sort of business relationship, so to speak. So, after a really brutal match, China doesn't interfere at all, which is good. Brutal match between Angle and Jericho. Jericho is a bit of a tweener at this point. He's going transition from heel to face, and he's very much over with the fans anyway. Kurt Angle is just that smug heel character that I really love to see, and he really plays up on it on this one. But a lion salt, Kurt Angle looks like he's down and out. Chris Jericho goes for the lion salt. The European Championship is in the ring, and Kurt Angle hits Jericho with the lion salt Kurt Angle hits Jericho with the championship as Jericho hits the lion salt. That was a lot of things to say. The referee is distracted. I said China doesn't get involved. The referee is distracted by China at the end, which has led to this point. Jericho goes for the title, Kurt Angle gets the title, lion salt hits him with the title, and we are done. Kurt Angle is your Euro-Continental Champion. He goes to celebrate with the fans, and you can see him doing that all the way through the show, which I think is really cool. Like, he's out and about, and it's like, whoa, European Intercontinental Champion. And it's just, he plays it so well. This the man you love to hate kind of character, and Kurt Angle is brilliant at it. Tag Team Championships up for grabs next. It is the New Age Outlaws versus the Dudley Boys. Remind me not to do that again. I'm so into the year 2000, it's unbelievable. A quick match, this one. Bubba Ray hits Billy Gunn with a lead pipe on the outside. He brings the lead pipe down to the ringside. Don't know why it didn't get taken off him, which gives the referee time to come round after a ref bump. So Billy Gunn takes out, was it Billy Gunn? Might have been Road Dogg, or Billy Gunn takes out the ref, gives the ref time to come round as Bubba Ray hits Billy Gunn with the lead pipe on the shoulder. The Dudleys hit the 3D on the Road Dogg, Jesse James, and we have new tag team champions. Not much to say about this match. You've got two really good teams here, and they were not used well. I think basically the whole pay-per-view was playing for time for the main event, which is a Hell in a Cell, and they had to give that plenty of time to do what it needed to do. It's a bit of a throwaway match, and it's a damn shame because you've got the Dudley Boys and the New Age Outlaws. The Dudley Boys win. They are your new WWF Tag Team Champions. Bit of dissension rather, in the ring afterwards between the New Age Outlaws. Road Dogg wondering where Billy Gunn was. Billy Gunn obviously cradling his arm after being hit with the lead pipe. And no, Road Dogg's nowhere to be seen as Billy Gunn is being assessed in the back later on. So we've got Mark Henry, sexual baby, sexual chocolate, Mark Henry versus Viscera. Two big guys beating the tar out of each other. It's not a pretty one, this, and it just gets more or less pretty, shall we say, as Mae Young comes down to make the interference. Mae Young comes to make the save as Viscera is going for the big splash on Mark Henry. She makes the save. She comes down. Never seen her run that fast, to be honest. She makes the save, saves Mark Henry. Viscera takes her down and goes for the splash on Mae Young. Mark Henry pops up, takes Viscera out, hits a massive body slam onto Viscera, which is very impressive. He's over 500 pounds, and picks up the victory. We get a body slam finish in this match. Absolute throwaway match, no reason for it to be in, apart from to further the storyline of Mae Young being pregnant, and he's got the world's most powerful sperm, according to the king, and I would not disagree with that. He can get a 70-year-old pregnant, but there you go. Absolute throwaway match, nothing in this at all for anybody. And we're going into the third match now. Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff with Terry. They won the Terry Invitational and won the money in the ladder match against Edge and Christian. They are going against Edge and Christian in this match, incidentally. Terry has hired the Acolytes to protect her from the Dudley Boys. The Dudley Boys have a thing about putting women through tables at this point in time. They get their own entrance, which I thought was absolutely brilliant, as the Acolytes should always do, because they are awesome. They, like I say, they were hired by Terry for protection. That will all become clear at the end of this one. Again, it's a very sad thing, because the Dudley Boys had a throwaway match. The Hardy Boys and Edge and Christian, slightly better, bit more competition here, but again, it's a bit of a throwaway. And to think that by the time WrestleMania 2000 comes around, these guys are having one of the best matches in the history of WrestleMania is it's phenomenal to me. It's absolutely phenomenal. But Terry shoves Jeff off the top rope as he is going for the Swanton Bomb after Matt Hardy hits the Twist of Fate. Slaps Matt in the face for getting in Terry's face and saying, "What the heck are you doing? How did that happen?" Christian hits the Unprettier, and ENC pick up the victory. They look very shocked here as Terry turned around and just like, what? Well, what's happened? They give an interview after the match. Christian seems to be in a little bit of remorse, didn't want that to happen. Edge is like, we've got a victory, get over it. So a bit of dissension there as well. But yeah, Terry is celebrating outside the ring, and Matt Hardy goes to grab her, but of course she is paid for protection, and the only protection you need is the Acolytes. Can't say that will protect you from everything. Certainly if Mae Young had hired the Acolytes for protection, she'd probably still be pregnant. I don't know. The 2000s were weird, but it was ultimately very, very entertaining. So yeah, the Acolytes then beat up the Hardy Boys, and Terry runs away, the little she-devil doing her little she-devil type things. So yeah, they do their job and take out the Hardys. We've got an interview with the Big Show, trying to get over with the fans. He does this really, really well. Of course, the fans don't like him because he's going against The Rock. Gives his speech about, you know, The Rock's feet hit first, and you can't argue with it because he showed the video. You can clearly see The Rock's feet going like that, and then pulling him back over for skinning the cat. Definitely not a Shawn Michaels thing. The camera as well was very tactically placed. And yeah, trying to get over. It's like, look, you know, I'm not a bad guy. I just want to prove that I won the Royal Rumble. The Rock's feet hit first, and then I went out. So after weeks and weeks of trying to convince Triple H that his feet were the second ones to touch after the Royal Rumble, and he won rightly the right to face the champion at WrestleMania. He gets his wish, and he gets a match against The Rock. And that is coming up later in the card. I don't even know whether to discuss this match or not. It's the Big Boss Man versus Taz. Taz's second match on pay-per-view in the WWE, and basically the Big Boss Man comes down with Prince Albert, and they beat up Taz. And that is it. The disqualification hits, the ref rings the bell, disqualification, victory for Taz, and they just continue to beat him up. There's nothing more to say about this match, and this is why I find it disappointing. This after the epicness that was Royal Rumble 2000, we get this No Way Out, and it's all building up just for one match. You've got 3 hours of build up just for one match. Disqualification, ring that bell, because you know that's always going to make them stop. In wrestling, you know, if you want someone to stop, you ring the bell several times. Yes, there's a bell behind here, tactically placed. Isn't that right, Tommy Dreamer? Yeah. Yeah, double team on Taz. That's your match. Not really a match, but there you go. No holds barred. We're getting something of a decent match here. Kane versus X-Pac. They were tag team champions. They were best friends. X-Pac made Kane a human being. Started going out with Tori and all that kind of stuff. X-Pac then betrays his best friend and nicks his girlfriend as well. That's grounds for me and grounds for Kane to beat up X-Pac, because he deserves it. Yeah, that's the one. So X-Pac drop kicks Kane into the steps to win this one. It's a brutal match. It starts on the outside. Kane beats X-Pac through the crowd. Goes to the ringside. There's chair shots, there's bin shots. These are unprotected, by the way. Fighting on the outside. Kane goes through the table, I think, at one point, and so does X-Pac. Of course, Tori is out there as well, distracting Kane. Tori gets a choke slam for her trouble as well, and she gets in Kane's face. This gives Kane enough time to pick up the steps, the ring steps, hold them up, try to hit X-Pac with it. He drop kicks the steps straight into Kane's face and gets the pin. Can't answer it. There you go. That was it. The distraction from Tori led to X-Pac winning. Another semi-decent match now. You can see how well Rikishi and Too Cool got over at this point. And they're going in a 6-man tag match against the new recruits of the Radicals, Dean Malenko, Chris Benoit, and Perry Saturn, with Eddie Guerrero on the outside, suffering still from an arm injury. Again, that time we had a match without a false finish, although the last one wasn't really a false finish because it was a street fight, so you could kind of get behind that one. Too Cool take the victory as Rikishi just squashes D. Malenko in the corner as the other four guys fight outside the ring. He puts a little ass on D. Malenko, and the Radicals cannot make the save. Of course, we then get a dance break, and everyone's like, down today, do 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 do. Now I'm not going to bust out a worm, just in case you thought I was. So yeah, not unthought a finish that was worth it. You know, it built up. It was a good match. There wasn't many tags in this one, I've got to say. It was a bit more of a tornado tag match, but I don't mind that. And we get the dance off at the end when it was really cool. Too cool, in fact. And yeah, God rest Grandmaster Sexy Brian Christopher, who sadly passed away last year. So we get on to the sub-main event now. It is the match to determine the number one contender for the championship at WrestleMania. The winner of this match gets a title shot at WrestleMania against whoever will be the champion, Triple H or Mick Foley, in their match. So it's The Rock versus The Big Show. Again, Big Show was decent at this point. He certainly had a lot more range of movement than he does now. He looked good, he was young, he was fit. And he took Rock to the absolute limit, and it would be the ref that was letting things go. I mean, there's a lot of high stakes in this match. You'll find that in 2000, round about the sort of Attitude Era, coming towards the end of the Attitude Era. The referee lets a lot of things go, and yeah, it was a ref bump ultimately to Tim White. To Earl Hebner, who's the referee in this match. It was a ref bump that takes him out, and Tim White comes down and attacks Earl Hebner. Shane O'Mac, after they're beating each other up on the outside, we've got a referee fight on the outside. We've got Shane O'Mac making his return after an injury. He comes in, think he's going to be putting on the referee's shirt and refereeing the match. He doesn't. The Big Show is down. The Rock goes for the people's elbow, and Shane O'Mac hits him with a chair. One of the best chair shots that I've ever seen. One swift movement, slides into the ring, picks up the chair, gets up, clocks the Rock over the head with the chair in a jumping, swift, Superman-like motion. He's Super Shane, and hits the Rock with the chair. He takes the Rock out. Big Show covers the Rock as Shane gets the referee Tim White back into the ring, and Big Show wins. The Big Show is going to WrestleMania, takes the Rock's number one title shot, and he's going to WrestleMania to face the winner of the Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania 2000. Something tells me this is not the end of this one. Into the main event now. It's the WWF title match. Hell in a Cell. It's Triple H with Stephanie McMahon versus Cactus Jack / Mick Foley / Mankind / Dude Love. And I forgot to put my tie-dye t-shirt on, which I was going to use for this video. Never mind. There you go. Absolutely worth the wait, but the whole pay-per-view suffered as a result of waiting for one big match, and we got that big match. There was blood, there was chair shots, there was fighting on top of the cage, there was fire, there was barbed wire wrapped 2x4s, everything you'd expect from a Hell in a Cell match of the 2000s. Yeah, in a show of screwy finishes, this match was fantastic. Triple H wearing a crimson mask early on as the two fight in and out of the ring. The steps at one point thrown into the cage. Triple H prone, Triple H ducks out of the way, and the steps go through the side of the cage. So this gives Mick Foley a chance to get out of the cage. He does cut himself on his left arm as he's going out, looks rather sharp, gets caught in the cage, and breaks through the cage, chucks himself through it, and Triple H through it as well, and they're fighting on the outside. Pile driver onto the table, Triple H goes through the table, and Cactus heads to the top of the cell with Barbie. And if you don't know who Barbie is, or what Barbie is, that's the barbed wire wrapped 2x4, and if you was wondering whether it was fake barbed wire or not, just watch the match. It is definitely not fake barbed wire. Jack goes through the table as he tries to take to the top of the cage. Triple H trying to get away from Cactus Jack at this point. He climbs to the top. Cactus goes to the top. Mick Foley, whatever his name is at this point, tries to go to the top, gets his hand stomped on. He goes through the table in a recreation of the spot from The Undertaker, obviously to get thrown off the top of the cage through the table, but this still looks nasty. And kudos to Mick Foley for taking these bumps, because I don't think anybody else will. He falls off the top of the cell, sent through the table. He tries to get a chair back up to the top of the cell. He goes up, takes Barbie with him. In fact, Barbie is at the top of the cell, because the reason that Cactus gets thrown off is he stomps on his hand, but he also Triple H rakes his head with the barbed wire. Absolutely brutal. I wouldn't recommend this one for kids. Gets sent through the table. So they fight at the top of the cell. Looks like Mick Foley's out at this point. Doodle, Cactus Jack, Mankind, whatever his name is. And they fight at the top of the cage, and the edge of the cage then starts breaking through, and it's Triple H who nearly goes through this time. So you know something's going to happen here. They're fighting. Mick Foley has managed to get some matches up there. He lights Barbie on fire, hits Triple H with that. It was a backdrop spot. Triple H is prone. Mick Foley goes for the pile driver on top of the cage, on top of the cell. Can't even imagine if he'd have managed to hit that, what would have happened if that had gone through, because that would have been like a 20-foot pile driver. But yeah, Triple H, it's difficult to talk about because it's so brutal. Backdrops him, backdrops Mick Foley. Mick Foley goes through the cage cannot take his weight. He implodes the ring as he hits that ring, although it does look like it was made for that. So who knows? I don't know. Maybe some research into that. But it looks nasty, absolutely nasty. And Mick Foley's still got some fire left. I don't know how, but he has. Triple H takes mercy on him, gives him a pedigree, and pins Mick Foley. Mick Foley's career at this point in time is done. The whole premise of this match, he wanted one more match, one more chance to main event WrestleMania. Triple H took that off him in one foul swoop, one pedigree, and it's done. Triple H retains the championship. Mick Foley is out until WrestleMania 2000. Yeah, he's had his last match. And Triple H goes on to fight Big Show at WrestleMania, but we all know how this one ends, and we're going to bring you WrestleMania 2000 in the next classic pay-per-view review. We're just going to go through the whole of the year 2000. It's really good. I really enjoyed it, and it's been a nostalgia for me, and I like sitting down and watching these things because it's fun. So yeah, that is your classic review for February 2020. It's been 20 years to the day of the release of this video since No Way Out 2000. And it was a bit of a throwaway, to be honest, apart from the last match. I can't recommend this pay-per-view unless you're going through the whole of the year 2000 like I am. There's going to be some dead weight there somewhere, but yeah, bit of a shame this one. It's a good job that Raw and SmackDown are pretty good at this point in time. So, if you've enjoyed the video, click the like button, hit the notification bell and the subscribe button. Almost forgot that bit. Subscribe to the channel to find out more about wrestling shows that we go to, and also some classic reviews, as well as NXT and movies, and obviously main WWE pay-per-views as well. If you like all that kind of stuff, then all you've got to do is drop right in to Cheap Shot Entertainment and become one of the Cheap Shot Nation. You can join us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, as well as picking up your merchandise from the Close to Order store over on Close to Order / Cheap Shot Nation. We get a little bit of kickback, you get a decent t-shirt, and it's a reasonable price as well. They send it direct to you with a screen print to order, so you know you're getting quality. Just like this t-shirt here. This is going to be going to Florida with me because I'm going to Raw as well as WrestleMania. And that is that. I've been your host Luke. You are the Cheap Shot Nation. And I'll see you again. Goodbye.